Alrighty then, I am now live here on YouTube.com for my WWE Payback 2016 live review and results, talking about the show itself, WWE Payback 2016. You guys are watching live. Welcome to the chat room. Make sure you guys treat each other kindly in the chat room. Everyone's opinions are accepted here on the Chase Oliver channel. After we get more into Payback and stuff like that, I'll be taking some questions, especially since Extreme Rules is just 3 weeks away. So yeah, if you guys are watching this live, make sure you guys share this on Twitter. Use the WWE official hashtag WWE Payback so we can get some people over here. If you guys are watching this on the playback, thank you very much for taking time and watching this video. So there you have it. WWE Payback 2016 live from Chicago, Illinois. Let me just get my first initial thoughts about Payback out of the way. I felt the show was overall a pretty decent show from the WWE. I didn't think it was anything mind-blowing. I didn't feel like I watched like the most greatest pay-per-view ever, but I did feel like, hey, you know what? The WWE, they did all right here. It wasn't like anything that exceeded my expectations of what this show was going to be. I knew going into this show that this show was going to be heavily carried on the fact that there was going to be a bunch of in-ring matches taking place. So I knew that for a fact. I just wasn't really necessarily excited because I wanted to know how they were going to tell the stories of these matches. So pretty much that's all I know from this show, is that it delivered on the in-ring portion of the pay-per-view. So there you have it. So that's my initial thoughts on WWE Payback 2016. But let's get started. Pre-show stuff, which I missed. Apparently, Dolph Ziggler beat Baron Corbin. Why? I do not know. Why are you having Dolph Ziggler beat Baron Corbin? Please, someone come here and explain to me how come Dolph Ziggler is winning a pay-per-view match over Baron Corbin. There should be no reason why Baron Corbin, who you're trying to produce as this big, bad, tough guy, he's here to kick everyone's ass, he's the lone wolf, is getting his ass kicked by Dolph Ziggler. I don't care if it was by a roll-up. He still lost. He shouldn't be losing a match like this. You have no plans for Dolph Ziggler moving on forward in the future. Dolph Ziggler is not a main piece to your machine. So why is Dolph Ziggler winning this matchup? Why? Baron Corbin's a younger talent. You should be putting him over. I may not be a fan of Baron Corbin, but he should go over in this situation. Just makes no sense to me. Kalisto and Ryback, good exchange between the two. Kalisto walked out as United States champion. So there you have it. So that's pretty much all I can really say about the match. There was no storyline or feud going into it. Tag team match, sponsored by Booty-O's. Our show kicked off officially with the New Day promo. They did their usual shtick. Then Enzo and Big Cass came out. They did their usual shtick. And then the Vaudevillians came out. And then the match happened. And it was, going fine for the most part. Nothing really too special. It was just going fine. And then sadly, oh my God, tragically, after Enzo Amore got bounced onto the ropes, so Simon Gotch was throwing Enzo Amore, and Enzo Amore was supposed to slide out of the ring and stuff like that to show Simon Gotch has some ungodly strength when it comes to Irish whipping people. And Enzo Amore goes and he hits his head on the middle rope, and then his head slams down on the canvas. And Enzo Amore, he just looked in a bad way. He just looked out of it. He wasn't moving. It looked really, really serious. If you saw this on the slow motion, it looked absolutely disgusting. It looked gross. I don't know why they showed this in the slow motion, but Enzo Amore looked in a bad way. He didn't look healthy at all. Trainers were coming by. Colin Cassidy looked aside himself, and they pretty much put Enzo Amore onto the stretcher. And this really set the pay-per-view at such a weird tone, because it was like you were worried for this man's health, because injuries can happen at any time in the WWE. But when you see something like that where it's just looks so brutal, you're just like, oh my God. It wasn't even brutal. It was just seeing his head slam on the canvas, that's pretty brutal. But it was just seeing something like a freak injury like that. It's just just disgusting. And they kept showing it in slow motion and everything like that. I don't want to see this in slow motion. Why you keep showing this to me, WWE? Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous that WWE showed that in slow motion way too many times. But we did get an update on Enzo Amore and his health, that he will be fine. He got a concussion, and that a lot of the tests are coming back negative. So it doesn't seem like it's too serious, but it was definitely a scary, scary thought. And I felt Enzo Amore, after he got injured, that this pay-per-view was kind of in a weird way, where the wrestlers were like, oh, fuck, I don't feel like we can do that much, because we don't want to suffer an injury like that, because Enzo Amore's injury was a freak injury, Like, shit, man. I felt like some of these wrestlers were a little bit going safe after that, in my personal opinion. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were up next, and I'm not going to lie, for the match itself, I know a lot of people are going to be touting this, that this was the match of the night. This was one of the top matches at Payback. I couldn't get into it because I was still thinking about Enzo Amore. Just to be frankly and honest with y'all, it was hard for me to adjust from seeing what happened to Enzo Amore and get into Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. I couldn't just literally go in there and get into Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn right away like I should. It was just that I was just like still thinking about Enzo Amore. It was just really, really hard for me to really, really sit there and just like dissect Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But from what they put on, it was a match. It was a match, I can say that. It was typical ROH in-ring style, bunch of false finishes, bunch of signature and finisher moves hitting each other, and it's just them kicking out of it. So I don't see anything special about the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn match. That's just me. I can see this match on Raw, to be honest with you. If I'm going to be dead honest with you, I can see this match on Raw with a little bit of a tower limit, with a little time limit. That's it. There's nothing different about this match than a match than I could see on Monday Night Raw. Felt they did good. But my question was, why did Kevin Owens win in this situation? Why did they have Kevin Owens go over in this situation? That's what I didn't understand. I didn't understand Kevin Owens going over. Because for me, I was sitting there and I'm saying to myself, look, if they really want to keep on going with this feud, they should have Sami Zayn go over here. Because Sami Zayn, he's never really beat Kevin Owens in the WWE structure. He's never really had a clean win over Kevin Owens. So why don't they have Sami Zayn go over clean on Kevin Owens? I don't know. It makes no sense to me. I thought it was ridiculous. I was just like, wow, they really had Kevin Owens win. And then they just made it where Kevin Owens is like, Sami Zayn's a nobody. You guys should be paying attention to me and the Intercontinental title scene. And it was just like, okay. So Kevin Owens is saying he's going for the IC title. The IC title match was next. We got Cesaro and Miz put on a fine matchup between each other, the best that you could probably see out of both of these men. But then it ends in a screwball finish. So it's like Kevin Owens is just doing commentary. Out comes Sami Zayn like a petulant little child that he lost, and he goes and he's beating up Kevin Owens. It's like, dude, okay, how does this make me want to like Sami Zayn? If I'm someone watching the show, the WWE, Sami Zayn did make me want to like this guy. It's like, no, he just lost the match. He lost. A babyface to me, like they can have emotions and feelings and stuff like that. But when you lose a clean up straight match to your rival, sometimes you got to put your head down and say, you know what? He was right. He did beat me. I got to reassess my game plan before I go after him again. That's what Sami Zayn should have done in this situation. This is not like Sami Zayn got screwed over by Kevin Owens time after time after time again, because if you look at the booking of all of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's matches, Kevin Owens has beat Sami Zayn for the most part clean. Like, okay, it's not like Sami Zayn has been screwed over time after time after time, like a Daniel Bryan, where it's like, okay, if Daniel Bryan reacted this way, this is like natural human reaction. Or if like a Stone Cold acted this way, this is natural human reaction. This was Sami Zayn losing again to Kevin Owens and him looking like a child, crying like, I'm gonna beat you up for beating me. It's like, no, dude, that's not how you make this guy into a likable babyface. If anything, it made it worse, in my personal opinion. It made it worse. It made no sense to me. So Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are fighting on the outside. Cesaro and Miz are continuing the match like nothing's going on. They're just like, fuck it, let these idiots fight. We're just going to go and do our own thing. So they just go do their own thing. They're still wrestling. Cesaro gets Miz in a crossface. Miz is tapping out, but the referee is distracted. For whatever reason, the referee is distracted by Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Look, if you're a referee in that situation, a referee should not be distracted what's going on the outside unless it involves the two competitors. You should not be distracted by Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn. You should be focusing on the situation at hand, which is the title match. So it made no sense to me why the referee was so goddamn distracted about stuff that does not involve the title match whatsoever. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And Miz ends up winning by a roll-up, which is fine because I felt Miz was the right guy to go over in this situation. Look, Cesaro, if he wins the title at this point in time, sure, his push is pretty cool. I like the new James Bond Cesaro that we're seeing, but you know WWE, they're just not going to capitalize off Cesaro being IC champion. They're just gonna squander him and waste his potential. So I'm fine with Miz being the Intercontinental Championship still. But I will say this. After the match, you know, all the four competitors are fighting each other. Kevin Owens ends up beating up everybody, pretty much holds the IC title up high and making it, and the fans were cheering, they were reacting to this. And so I'll say this. I liked what they did here, but I also am confused with what they did here. And here's the reason why I like what they did here. It's been a while since I've seen what WWE does where they layer storylines into different storylines. So what I'm saying is this. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are fighting each other. They have a feud, but Kevin Owens, he still wants that IC championship back. He is the former IC champion. He did not really get an initial rematch right away. So it makes sense for a guy like Kevin Owens to want to get that Intercontinental title back. I like that. But at the same time, it is like, okay, you had Kevin Owens beat up a babyface and Sami Zayn, but how are you trying to present Kevin Owens to me? Are you trying to present him as a new babyface? So then why did he feud with the babyface Sami Zayn? And then you have the babyface Cesaro, and then you're kind of trying to flip Kevin Owens babyface. And to me, it just doesn't work. I like that they're trying to layer the IC title with the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens feud in a way. I like that they're layering their feuds to have different layers so we can get more possible fresh matchups down the line. But for me, it's just like, what are you going to try to accomplish with this IC title fatal four-way? What does this IC title fatal four-way really accomplish? To me, it doesn't look like it's going to accomplish much, because are you trying to turn Kevin Owens face? If so, why? Why are you trying to turn Kevin Owens face and then have him face Sami Zayn at this pay-per-view? It just makes no sense. It's just like from the get-go, you should have already made Kevin Owens a face. The fans cheer him anyways. So why is it that you keep on trying to present him as this villain, but you know the fans are going to like it? So are you guys going to try to present him as a babyface now? And then you're just going to lose a big feud between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and you can say, oh, well, the two baby faces that respect each other, or two baby faces that hate each other. Look, that's not a good storyline. Two baby faces that hate each other. When you think of a baby face or faces in general, they're normally like the super nice guys of the company. It just doesn't work out like that. It just doesn't work out like that. So overall, though, the IC title stuff was pretty solid on this show. Nothing too spectacular, but I did like the interlaying of feuds. I just don't know how WWE is really going to execute it. Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho, this match was kind of whatever. It just felt like a Raw match. I didn't feel like this match was anything too special. Ambrose gets to win on Jericho. Jericho's throwing a fit afterwards, and Jericho's back to being Jericho. He wins one big match, and then later on he loses the next three. So there you go. That's all I really got to say about it. There was nothing really much about this match. Like I said, it was like a Raw match, but on pay-per-view. The women's title match between Charlotte and Natalya. I'll say this. Pretty much, we've seen this match a lot of times already, so the interest of this match was kind of blah. The interest was really in the two managers involved, in Ric Flair and Bret Hart. That was the interest of this match. That's what they were trying to sell at this match. And honestly, Bret Hart, we were joking about it on the live Skype call, was that he just didn't give a fuck that he was there. He just didn't want to try to be there. He just like, whatever, I'm here, blah, 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 pay me, Vince. That's what I felt like when watching Bret Hart in this match. But it was so funny, the ending to this match. Now this may be like me being a fan trying to be too smart or something, but do y'all think Vince and the WWE were pissed off that Bret Hart was not really excited about this matchup, or not really pitching this matchup very well, and they decided behind Bret Hart's back to do a screw job finish? Like, they just told Bret what's going to happen. They told Bret, hey, you're going to have to sharpshooter Rick at the end. Do you think that they told Bret that was the deal, and Bret's like, okay, whatever, and he walked away, and then they said, okay, we're going to do a screw job finish? Do you think because Bret Hart literally looked pissed off when it happened. Like, that wasn't looking like Bret Hart actually being like just normal Bret Hart, like not giving a fuck. It was like he was actually like, what the fuck is going on? And he was literally pissed off of actually what happened. So to me, that's how I view it. Maybe it's looking in too deep to it, but seriously, it just looked like WWE was like, fuck you, Bret. Not caring about our show, damn it. We're going to make you care. Fuck it. And then bam, that's what happened. But that's screw job finish. I don't get why it happened. That's the only reason why I can think of. They just did it to spite Bret Hart, just to fucking say, fuck you, Bret. That's the only reason why I think they did the screw job finish, because we know WWE sometimes can be petulant children about little shit. So that's why I felt like it may have been a fuck you, Bret finish, because it's just like, why would you make a screw job finish for Natalya and Charlotte? Like, what makes you want to say, oh, this is a big time matchup? Is Natalya leaving for another company of interest? Like, why would the officials would want to screw Natalya? It's not like Natalya is currently the women's champion and she's trying to walk out as women's champion. It's like, It's like the screwjob finish. It just made no sense. It just felt like WWE was trying to give a middle finger to Bret Hart and just said, "Screw you, Bret. This is what you get for not trying to hype up the pay-per-view." To be fair, though, Paul Markalonis, I think most WWE fans, really, to be honest, especially in this day and age, only really know Bret Hart from the screwjob finish. They don't really know Bret Hart from his mid-WWF title reigns and stuff. A lot of people probably look at it like that. They just probably say, "Oh, you know what? He's the guy from the screwjob." So that could be the case, to be honest. Like, a lot of fans just look at it like that. So there you have it. That was the women's championship match. All right stuff. You know, Charlotte and Natalya, we know they can wrestle with each other. That's fine. There just had to be more to this match. I don't know if the screwjob finish was necessarily the right direction or the more that I wanted. I just felt that the WWE was trying to say fuck you to Bret by doing that, at least in my personal opinion. All right, so then we move on from the women's championship match. And at this point, like, you know, the show felt like it was going by way too fast. Unlike WrestleMania, which felt like it was never going to end, Payback felt like it was going way too fast. And so then the McMahons came out and pretty much had a WWE Raw segment. Like, we just got a Raw segment. We had Vince come out and talk. We had Stephanie come out and do her usual thing. I'm what's best for business. I did this with the authority. We had Shane come out and grab some articles from all these websites saying, this is what these people are saying about me running Monday Night Raw. They are saying that I'm doing a good job. A lot of those headlines felt like they were just like columns that people were writing about, giving their opinion. So maybe there's authority stuff. The one fact Shane didn't want to put out was that Raw's ratings have been declining since he's been running. So why did they put that in there? So, but yeah, anyways, it's Lisa Vince just saying, you know what? I want blood. And already my head was saying, no, this is what we're going to do. Vince, don't you do it. We're going to have it. Don't you dare say it, Vince. We're going to have it where both of you are going to run Raw. Oh, thank God, no fucking brand split. Oh, my. Thank you, Vince. No brand split. Thank you, God. We don't have a brand split. They're going to have it where Shane and Stephanie are going to do what Austin and Bischoff did, what Vince and Flair did. They're going to both be running Monday Night Raw of this new era of the WWE. What do I think about this? Honestly, yes, this should have been saved for Raw. They should have saved this for Raw. What they should have done at Payback instead is just have Shane and Stephanie talk shit to each other, and then Vince coming out saying that, what, Raw, you will know which one of you is staying and which one of you is fired. And then bam, that's what you would have done. But they had to fill up time for this show. It is what it is. That's all I can really say about it. It is what it is. It happened. I like the decision, though, a lot better than a brand split, because the reason why I say a brand split's a bad idea, because it's under the belief. A lot of people already know Triple H runs NXT. Triple H has formed this creation known as NXT, and the whole premise of this feud that I think they're trying to go for is that Stephanie is the bad bitch and Shane, he's the good guy, and they're trying to make us hate the authority even more, trying to garner more heat towards the authority while trying for us as fans to still like Shane McMahon. You can't do that with a brand split. You honestly can't, because Triple H, he has NXT. And if he starts bringing NXT guys up to SmackDown or whatever brand he's running, you're just pretty much giving Triple H more of a babyface rub than you are a heel rub. And honestly, this roster is not made for a brand split right now. A brand split wouldn't help this roster. It would actually make it worse. Yeah, sure, this roster's pretty big. Yeah, sure, there's a lot of guys on NXT. But I think they're doing fine with what they're doing. I don't think it will help SmackDown at all in the ratings for a brand split. I think what they're doing right now is absolutely fine. And I have no problem with Stephanie and Shane both running Monday Night Raw in their own way, because I feel like a brand split would just lead to more confusion from the fans. It would make fans want to know, why should I hate Triple H? I mean, he's bringing NXT guys onto SmackDown or Raw, just like Shane. So why should I hate them? And then also with the storylines you currently have right now, like who's going to be on SmackDown that's worth a damn, to be honest with you, that they do this? Who are they going to drag from SmackDown that is worth the time to watch? Like maybe Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose, but do you really think they're going to be able to carry SmackDown by themselves? Hell no. I know AJ Styles is not going to SmackDown. I know fucking Roman Reigns is not going to SmackDown. I know a lot of guys aren't going to SmackDown. John Cena's not going to SmackDown. So why should we do a brand split? Why should we care about SmackDown? Just keep it how it is. I like what they're doing. I think it'll be a lot better than a brand split in the long run of things. You know, the brand split just seems like a short-term fix. Like, you know, you want to get drunk. So instead of drinking some beers, you just drink a bunch of hard liquor. You take a bunch of shots. Sure, you get drunker faster, but then the hangover is a lot worse. Take your time getting drunk. Feels a lot better, at least in my personal opinion. So, yeah, I'm fine with what they did with Shane and Vince. It's not a big deal. And Stephanie. All right, moving on towards the main event of the evening. AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Let me just say this. I was excited for this matchup. This was the matchup you guys should know that I was looking forward to. And AJ Styles and Roman Reigns for the first 10 minutes was fucking awesome. Now, I ain't going to lie. A lot of people are going to say, oh, Chase, you're just bullshitting yourself. You're a Reigns mark. You're an AJ mark. You will say anything about these guys that they do is awesome. No. This match was great for the first 10 minutes because you had these two men go out there and take their time with their spots, sell the moves like they're important. When someone does a clothesline, it means a big deal in the match. I feel like a lot of wrestling fans have gotten stuck with the Ring of Honor style of wrestling, these no-selling style of wrestling, and they think that's wrestling nowadays because it's just fast, insane action. Yeah, that's fun. That's cool and all, but I want these moves to actually matter. And when Reigns and AJ would hit each other with all these moves in the beginning of the match, it actually felt like this could end the match. This move actually mattered. This move is going to have some impact throughout the match. I mean, you had it in the beginning. AJ Styles hits a leg kick on Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns backs up a bit like, oh, man, I've never been leg kicked like that before. And then you have AJ keep on doing those leg kicks. You have Reigns hitting power bombs, but AJ, throughout the match, he's still selling the fact that that power bomb took a lot out of him and everything like that. In the beginning of the match, it's just like, oh, man, AJ looks in a bad way. I mean, he looks hurt from those moves that Roman Reigns hit. But then AJ Styles counters with the freaking calf crusher, and it's like, oh, my God. You know, like, that makes sense. AJ Styles hit Roman Reigns with a bunch of leg kicks. Anytime he would get close to Roman Reigns, it would be a bunch of leg kicks. So it makes sense for AJ to go for that calf crusher. Then afterwards, you had that nice holy shit spot with the springboard with the phenomenal forearm through the table. It was like, oh, man, this match is getting into some type of special territory, at least for me. I felt this match was going to be special. I felt that this match was going to be one of those top matches that we talk about for years to come. That's how this match was starting to feel for me. And then all of a sudden, we got our first false finish of the evening. So AJ Styles goes and he tries to bring Roman Reigns in the ring, but he can't at the time. So he rolls in the ring and boom, AJ Styles wins. Oh my God, AJ Styles beats Roman Reigns by countout. So Roman Reigns is still champion. Okay. This is how you're going to end this match. Not a fan of it whatsoever. Out comes Shane, and Shane goes, this may have happened in the old era of the WWE, but in the new era of the WWE, we don't end our matches like that. So that's why we are going to restart this match with no countout. So AJ Styles and Roman Reigns, they get back to the match. AJ Styles goes, and he jumps up on the top turnbuckle. Roman Reigns hits his, usual uppercut that he normally hits in the chest, hits AJ Styles' dick. AJ is holding his balls and everything like that. Roman gets disqualified. AJ Styles wins via DQ, but Roman's still champion. So then I knew what this match was going to be. After Shane came out, I knew this match was going to be all about the fucking McMahons. It wasn't going to be about AJ Styles. It wasn't going to be about Roman Reigns. Hell, it wasn't even going to be about the Bullet Club. It was going to be all about the McMahons and how they're trying to change WWE with this new era crap. What the fuck, man? So the match becomes a no DQ match. So you knew what was going to happen. And then it ended up just being a good main event match instead of what could have been a great main event match. A main event match where it's like, hey, when you watch Payback 2016, when you go to years back and you watch Payback 2016, you remember AJ Styles, Roman Reigns. It won't get forgotten in the archives of the WWE Network or forgotten in your heads. You just talk about, holy crap, that AJ Styles Roman Reigns match, that's possibly one of the matches of your contenders, and that's possibly one of my favorite matches of 2016 overall. Instead of AJ Styles and Roman Reigns going to that territory, it went into territory of typical today WWE crap. Let's just throw a bunch of shit and hopefully you like it. Let's just do a bunch of high spots and hopefully you like it. Let's do a bunch of false finishes and hopefully you like it. instead of doing what they did in the beginning of the match. If the beginning of the match was anything, this could have been an amazing matchup. But then adding in bullshit after bullshit, adding in more stipulations, gave you false finish hopes that AJ Styles, he's proven he can beat Reigns twice. That's what they were trying to get at with this match. It's like, oh, well, AJ, he's deserving of another title shot because he beat Reigns twice. So that's a big deal. He can beat Roman Reigns twice, Roman Styles once. Well, Roman Reigns beat AJ Styles once when it mattered, though. He beat him via clean pinfall 1, 2, 3. For me as a fan, I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, why does it matter that AJ Styles beat Roman Reigns via countout? Why does it matter that AJ Styles beat Roman Reigns via disqualification? It didn't matter because Roman Reigns won the most important decision. That's the pinfall decision. This match was more about the McMahons than it was about AJ Styles and Roman Reigns. It didn't really have that much of an impact. They did their tag team finisher, and that was it. Where AJ Styles looks at the Bullet Club and says, what the fuck is going on? Why are you guys out here? Why did you guys do that? That would have been much better. Instead, they had the Usos come out, and Roman Reigns and the Usos and the Bullet Club are fighting each other, and AJ Styles, he goes and he gets thrown onto them. That makes sense for AJ Styles to get thrown onto them because we don't know AJ Styles' alignment. But then Roman Reigns does his top rope dive, and he hits the Usos too, and it's like, wait, what? Why is Roman Reigns hitting his brothers? Why is Roman Reigns hitting his cousins, the Usos, his family? I thought Roman Reigns loves his family and everything like that. But no, Roman Reigns is like, fuck family. He just jumps over the top rope, takes out his brothers along with it. I know they're not brothers, they're cousins, but I'm just saying brothers because that's what WWE kind of puts it as. You know, he takes out his brothers like that, and it's just like, what the fuck? That's so stupid. Why would Roman Reigns, the character, ever do that? So dumb. It really is. If you would have had it where AJ Styles gets up after Reigns gets laid out, and AJ goes and he starts talking to Bullet Club, and he's like, hey, what are you guys doing out here? Get out of here. I'm fine. I don't need y'all help. And you were like, oh, wow, AJ's actually pissed off at these guys. Maybe he's not with them. And then you had Reigns recover and then do the dive. Would have made much more sense. Would have made much more better sense. I would have liked it. But no, instead they do that to the Usos like that. They did them dirty. And then Reigns ends up retaining. It was a good, like I said, a good matchup. It wasn't a bad match at all. It was good, but it was just so clusterfucky. It was all about the McMahons. It wasn't about the two competitors that we're watching. We are here to see this main event between Roman Reigns and AJ Styles. I do not want to be paying to seeing Shane and Stephanie look like the heroes of the day. The whole point why Vince put Shane and Stephanie together was so that way they could argue with each other and try to one-up each other and everything like that. But instead, they don't do that. They don't make it where it's just like, oh, Shane and Stephanie hate each other. Because where is Stephanie getting heel heat from by restarting this match and making it no DQ? If you really want Stephanie to get heel heat, you should have had Stephanie came out and saying, oh, sorry, AJ, you failed to win. But you know what? I don't want Shane to come out here and feel like he's better than me. So here's the deal, AJ. In 3 weeks' time, you will get another shot at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Extreme Rules, an Extreme Rules match. Because these people in Chicago, they don't deserve to see you or Roman wrestle. Boom. You get heel heat on Stephanie. It's a better way to end the pay-per-view. There's not a decisive winner for AJ and Roman Reigns. You can say, well, AJ did beat Roman twice. Sure, it was on some weird fluky coincidence, but at least we can say AJ Styles beat Roman Reigns. And then you had heel heat to Stephanie. Sure, it's a shitty way to end the pay-per-view, but at least you're getting the heel heat on Stephanie. But no, they don't even do that. They just make it where Stephanie looks like she's a good person for doing this. Like Stephanie was shitting on these fans moments ago, and then all of a sudden she's all coming out like luxurying to them. That makes no sense. You're right. You're right, Draven G. Got to feed that that McMahon ego. Yeah, you got to feed that McMahon ego too. Yeah, you're right, man. They got to feed it. It's so ridiculous, man. It's just what could have been a really, really special match between Roman Reigns and AJ Styles, it ended up being, you know, all about the McMahons. It was like, oh, the McMahons, they're so great. Look at what they're giving us and everything like that. No. And then the pay-per-view ended with them. It wasn't Roman Reigns celebrating. It was like the pay-per-view ended with the McMahons going like, yeah, well, we did great. We did great, yeah. We're going to give the match at Extreme Rules, yeah. But like I said, if you would have went the route that I talked about just moments ago, where you had Stephanie say that she's making the match at Extreme Rules because these fans of Chicago don't deserve it, it would have made more sense because there's no definitive winner between Reigns and AJ Styles. There's a reason to kind of be into the match a little bit more. It's like Reigns won when it mattered the most. He won the pinfall. Sure, AJ got 2 victories over him, but he didn't win the title off of them. It wasn't definitive. Reigns got the definitive win. So where's the interest in the rematch? There is no interest in the rematch, really, to be honest. Unless you're an AJ Styles and Roman Reigns fan like myself and you want to see more of these guys wrestle, there really isn't much of an interest. I feel like the WWE kind of screwed it with this one because they could have had it where, you know, the interest is in Roman Reigns and AJ Styles and then the Bullet Club to some degree. But it is what it is. So overall, WWE Payback 2016, not a bad show. Like, if you're a fan of in-ring wrestling, you're going to like the show. You're gonna call it a great show, I guess. If you're like me, you probably just felt that this show was passable, decent to passable. Like, I want to go back and watch the show. I'll be honest here. I want to go back and say like, oh, in like a month and watch the show, or 6 months. But I'd probably go back to watch the main event in many years to come to see if this main event could have actually been something special, or if it was just my figment of my imagination. So yeah, that's what I would have done in my personal opinion, is that I would have just had Roman Reigns and AJ Styles just do my thing. So Payback 2016, overall decent show from the WWE. I don't feel like it raised my excitement as a fan. I don't feel like it made me say, you know what, I want to go see WWE Raw tomorrow night. I don't think it did that job. I don't think it did the job of making me want to see stuff continue. It just kind of was just like, hey, you got your in-ring matches. Hey, you did this. Hey, you did that. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like it was a slam dunk. I don't feel like it made much of an impact going forward for the WWE, at least in my personal opinion. Anyways, what did you guys think about Payback? Leave it in the chat onto the right. Leave it in the comment section down below your thoughts on Payback if you're watching this via the playback. Not taking any questions today. I'm going to jump on a bunch of other reviews. So you're going to see my ugly mug throughout the place. So make sure you guys check out Heel Steven, OK Fave, if I go on their channels and do their stuff. So yeah, make sure you guys do that. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseSauber68 and enjoy your day, guys. See you guys tomorrow on OK Fave's channel for the post-Raw rundown. And we're going to be talking about that. It's going to be a new format. It's going to be awesome. It's also going to be on SoundCloud, so I'll get more information on that when that comes. But yeah, expect some commentary videos and other videos on my channel in the near future, live Q&As and everything like that. Thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Don't forget, on the playback, leave your thoughts down below on WWE Payback and what you guys think about this review. Give it a big old thumbs up if you liked it. Anyways, I'll see you all next time. Peace.